What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm actually knee deep right now filming my part 3 of how to frame your basement series. As you can see, I am almost done. This whole side's about done. The bulkhead's 90% done. That side's done. Don't mind the mess. And the HVAC cabinet is done. I do have to come back and cut a couple doorways in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do regular doors or Murphy doors. I'd like to do a couple Murphy doors just because they're cool and it hides some of, like, the storage areas back there. With that said, that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about these half walls, or some people call them pony walls. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. Let's get after it. All right, so I looked all over YouTube. I looked all over the internet, and there's honestly almost nothing out there on how to make these pony walls. All right, what is a pony wall? Well, a pony wall, or half wall as I usually call it, is this right here. I've made one. We're going to do one on camera today. But unlike your regular walls, which tie into your ceiling joists, they anchor into the concrete down here. They anchor into one another. These pony walls, they anchor into the floor, okay? They can anchor into the adjacent walls here or the adjoining walls. But up top, there's no ceiling joist to anchor into, all right? They're loose. And I kept thinking to myself, that's why I've saved this to be the last part of my basement framing series, because I wasn't sure how to do it, okay? Well, I've done a little bit of research. I've talked to some contractors, and I figured out 2 ways you can do it to make these things rock solid. The first way you can do it is not the way that I'm doing it for my own project today, but you can get about a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, okay? And let's just pretend that this was the same height as my wall. Unfortunately, my foundation is not perfectly flat. I built my wall level with that side over there, so I am gonna have to fill this in. That said, ignore that. You would get a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, you would screw it into the top of your wall, and then over here where your concrete foundation is, you would get a hammer drill, okay? So my DeWalt drill, it has a regular drill setting, it has a hammer drill setting. Anytime you're drilling into concrete, make sure you have a hammer drill setting on your drill. If you don't, go out and buy one. Otherwise, you're gonna wind up splitting the concrete, or you're just not gonna get through it whatsoever, right? The hammer drill acts like a hammer while it's drilling. You are gonna get a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. Obviously, it would be flush with my wall here. You would screw it like you normally would into your 2x4 wall. You would drill a couple, maybe 2 or 3 for this wall, holes into your concrete foundation. You would get concrete anchors, and you would put that into your concrete foundation, hence tying your pony wall into your concrete foundation. I am not going to do it that way for one reason, really, and that is because I don't like the idea of trying to put my drywall on top of this and having potentially some of my concrete anchors sticking up, all right? So we are not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it a different way. I actually think this way is the best way to do it. I will build a wall on camera here, but I wanted to show you guys. I've already done one, so check this out. What I've done is I have built the wall here in place, all right? So you can see it's about a 6-foot wall. I have gotten blocking, okay? And it has 2 screws up top. It's got 2 screws on the side. Same for this one. So this is about a 4-foot wide wall here. I'm anchored it in 2 points. This block is rock solid. This block, rock solid, not going anywhere. But from here, the concept is exactly the same as I just showed you. I'm going to get my hammer drill. I'm probably going to drill in there, probably 2 in each board, okay? Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, get some concrete anchors, and then you're just going to use those concrete anchors, drill these in, make it rock solid with your foundations. That way, the top of your wall has got that lateral support. You're going to anchor it into the concrete. You're going to anchor it into the side. I'm ultimately going to anchor it with this wall here. And that is how your pony walls or your half walls wind up getting that structural integrity that you would get in a normal wall that would typically bolt or screw in to your ceiling joists. All right, obviously, I've already made the last wall here. I teach you guys how to make walls in my part 1, 2, and 3 of my How to Frame Your Basement series. If you haven't checked it out, go check them out. I teach you guys how to do 16 inches on center. I teach you how to crown your studs. It's all in there, all right? Because this wall is about, I don't know, 6.5, maybe 7 feet long, I'm going to do 3 blockings, so kind of 3 anchor points into my concrete foundation. I'm going to do one on either side and one in the center. All right, so what you're going to do is, because I want to put one on the ends here, you're just going to set this flush with where it's going to mate to your wall. You're going to put 2 screws on either side. I am going to get my nail gun, and I'm going to put 2 nails on the top. I'm going to do that for every block here. Let's get after it. Highly suggest pre-drilling or starting all of your screws. I've got 6 screws started right now. Just makes your life a lot easier. All right, just like that, we've got our pony wall flush against the wall, all right? So Neither one of these walls are anchored right now. I do have that wall just with one screw tied into that wall just to hold it up right now. But again, you'll see that these walls are in here now. This is level, the top of this, okay? If you wanted to, you still could do a half inch piece of plywood up here and anchor it down into your concrete foundation, just so, again, your drywall has a solid mating surface to screw into. Me, personally, I'm going to use construction adhesive on both the top up there and along here. I will screw my drywall into this, obviously. I'm going to put construction adhesive on this just because, again, it's not perfectly flat, and a nice blob of construction adhesive in multiple spots, maybe once every 12 or 16 inches. I can level it a lot easier that way, all right? The other thing, I will eventually anchor that wall into that wall with 2 more anchors there. I will put 2 screws, one there and one at the bottom there. I will blast all of this into the concrete foundation, and then ultimately we'll come back and we will drill with our hammer drill through each of our blockings here and use some sort of like Tapcon or another type of concrete anchor to anchor those to the concrete foundation. All right, so to drill into the concrete foundation and through my 2x4 here that's going to anchor this to the wall, I did get a carbide-tipped Tapcon drill bit. I will try to remember to link this in the description. And I did get the related 1/4 inch by 4 inch long Tapcon screws. Again, these are foundation concrete screws. So make sure you read the instructions. Don't mess up like I did with the Ramset nail gun. You do have to drill a 1/4 inch longer into the foundation than these are long, so don't mess up. All right, and just like that, that's one pony wall down. Some may call it a knee wall. I do believe the proper term for a basement, at least, is called a pony wall. That was actually pretty easy. I'm honestly surprised, guys. It probably took me like the unedited version of this time lapse that we put in these 5 anchors in. It's probably like 4 minutes long. I mean, it's screwed in to the foundation really easy. That drill bit was awesome. And then, just kind of power drilling or driving these anchors in took like seconds. So again, this wall is solid. It's not going anywhere. It's tied in again to this wall over here in multiple spots. These 2 walls are tied in together. I put 5 anchors down into the floor. Actually, I put 1, 2, 4 anchors down into the floor. But again, hopefully you guys found this useful. Short video, but I'm really happy with how solid this came out. It's probably the only video that I personally can find or I'm aware of at this point on YouTube. So if you're a DIYer, you're like me, guys, please consider subscribing. Until I see you guys again, get in the gym, take care of yourselves, and live your dream. I'll catch you next time.